Here we are delete all the documents and data in the HTML file, and which is a simplest URL file, app component HTML. So let's start. The first thing in data binding or data binding, which I can say data binding is related to displaying and dealing with the view itself, dealing with the template, taking data from the template and to the template. So how can we represent data into the template? This is what we call data binding or so. Something which sometimes, according to the documentation, is not listed into data binding, but worth mentioning is the interpolation method. Interpolation method, in a simple words, is a way that we can view or send data, send a variable, whatever text or value, from the component file, which is app component.ts. This file, we can send that text to the template itself. So how can we view this? Let's start. Title, here we have a variable called title, which has a value pending data app, which is a the default title or the default name generated by Angular CLI. So we will use that title to write it into the main screen. Here you have. Okay. This is after deleting all data. This is a pending data app. So here we start. Let's print the title. This is title. How can we print title using the interpolation method? All right. First method interpolation. Right. So I save it, compiled successfully, and let's see it. First method interpolation. So how can we present the title? So double curly braces, inside them I will write title. You write it the same syntax it is written in the component. Okay, in my component, this is title. Let's see, pending data app. Here we are, heat appear. Okay, this is the title. How can we view it? Let's have it like this, better. Okay, pending data app. That's the first method, the interpolation method. Here we can write or maybe 1 plus 1 equal, and the interpolation method, I can write even an expression like 1 plus 1. He will evaluate that expression for me and present it into the template view. So that's it, the interpolation in very fast explanation and simple explanation. It's very simple, by the way. So we have something. The second method we have is a property binding, which is really into what the documentation is called section binding section. So I want to view the documentation for you. So let's enter the documentation. Okay, let's have it. Angular docs. Okay, documentation, main template, pending syntax. Always return to the documentation for everything. So here we have in that section. This is the type of binding or binding types, different binding types. The property bindings, event binding, two-way event and property, attribute, class, style, and so on. So we will start with a property binding. So let me talk about it a little before starting and doing it or applying it. Property binding, from its name, it's related to the property. It can edit a property or an attribute. So how can we use that property binding and sending data from the component, our component, to the template using a property binding, and how can make differ? How can it differ? So I will, in that title, I will create Google URL equal www.htm google.com. Okay, here we are. This is Google URL. This is normal URL HTTP. That's it. So that's it. That's Google URL. So I want to create a anchor. So second, click me method. Let's say property pending. So and this will be h4. Let it be h4, and I'll say click me. But click me, I'll put it in anchor. Click me. What's this? Okay. Click me. So I just want to make a no, not source, href. So inside the href we can write http google.com www.http.google.com and click me. It's a hyperlink. Here we are. Click me. It will open to google.com. So that's it. So how can we just get that URL or href from the component itself to point to Google URL? Maybe this is changing. Maybe this will be just a URL. So here you once say Google and another one say Yahoo and another one say mu'tazfarid.com maybe. So here we are. We will use property binding method. How can we use it? Href is an attribute for the anchor for A. So we will set the property, this property. So I will just set that square bracket into href and say, instead of this URL, I'll write the variable name. Simply add this. So what our variable name? URL, I think. Right? Here we are. Our variable name is URL. I expect it to have www.google.com and anchor. It's from the href itself. So I pressed Ctrl S. So it saved and compiled successfully. And here we are. I'll just, when I click me, to go Google. So when I click here, say yahoo.com. Sorry, here we are. Not working. Okay. Refresh. I refreshed it. I pressed Control. Sorry, I pressed Shift F5 to remove the cache. Here it is. So that's it. That's how we can use our second example, the property pending.